Welcome to our look back at Acceleration 14. Acceleration 14 travelled across Europe, starting in Portimao in southern Portugal, then to Navarra in Spain, Germany's Eifel region, the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza in Italy, and the Dutch town of Assen with its legendary TT circuit all played host. The FA1 single-seaters, the power and the glory of acceleration, 500 brake horsepower, noise and excitement. Nigel Melker on pole position here in Navarra in Spain. Championship leader Mirko Bortolotti lines up in third as they get away in beautiful conditions. On-board camera there with Armando Parent. Past him, Sergio Campana, Rodolfo Gonzalez. Dennis Lin trying to sneak through as well. Not a great start for Parent. On-board camera now with Rodolfo Gonzalez. The Venezuelan is in third. Mirko Bortolotti has the lead, as we see from poleman Nigel Melker. Looking forward at the Italian that won both races first time out in Portimao. So Team Italia going strongly from the start as well. A little further back, Armando Parent behind the number 10 car of Oliver Campos. Rodolfo Gonzalez for Venezuela in third place. Now can he insinuate himself in the battle in front with Melker? Chasing Bortolotti. Looking to go around the outside. Bortolotti has that covered but locks up the Italian. Runs a little wide. Through goes Nigel Melker. That's a change for the lead. Melker back in front after just half a lap here in Navarra, and right behind is Rodolfo Gonzalez. That's Bortolotti in front of us. And Armando Parent. Parent not the most experienced in these big single-seaters, and that shows as he locks it up under braking as well. Loses another couple of places. Parent is 25 years old. Well, Mirko Bortolotti in the Team Italia entry, run by Piercarlo Ghinzani's all-Italian outfit. And Bortolotti having a very strong run here, chasing Nigel Melker. Well, the Team Netherlands driver thought he could have had pole position both races. Last time in Portimao, at least he started this first one on pole. There is the Team China entry. Armando Parent, been on board with him during the races. And there's Balthasar of Germany. Sebastian Balthasar started from the pit lane, didn't set a qualifying time, and he'll be forced to start from the pit lane in the second race of the weekend as well. Major setback, but he is halfway up the order as Nigel Melker leads them to the checkered flag. Held the lead throughout the race. Mirko Bortolotti in second, just ahead of Richard Gonda as they drag race to the line. But it's the first win of the season for Team Netherlands and Nigel Melker. Victory for Melker meant the championship was shaping up nicely. Mirko Bortolotti still with the points lead, and those two would be locked in a man-to-man battle throughout the year. Let's pick up the action now at Germany's Nürburgring. Nigel Melker on pole position, the Netherlands car. Francis, new boy, Alessio Picariello. Second, right in front of us, Sergio Campana. Too much wheel spin for Campana in the Portugal car. We're on board with Picariello, the French car, alongside Melker. Three wide as we see it from Richard Gonda, who's made a good start. Down into the right-handed first corner, Melker to our left, the red car. That's Mirko Bortolotti. We're on board with the Italian, just avoids the stack of tyres. And somehow he's come out in second behind the French car. This is the battle then for third. Nigel Melker on the right, the pole man. We're with Richard Gonda, started in fifth place in the Slovakia team car. And he's in fourth spot as Melker held the inside line. On board then in second place with Mirko Bortolotti, winner of the first two races in Portimao in Portugal. Championship leader by just 2 points coming in here. Down to the bottom hairpin they go. Alessio Picariello in the Team France car leads. Couple of car lengths ahead of the red machine, Mirko Bortolotti. Nigel Melker third with the yellow helmet. But it's Bortolotti, the man who's challenging. Climbing up to the chicane, Picariello in the lead for Team France. On board with Bortolotti, see the French car slide wide over the curbs, loses ground. Maybe not quite enough grip in his cold tyres for what he was hoping. And Bortolotti looking for the lead of the race. Sends it to the outside now. Can he go around the French car? Yes, he can. There's contact. Bortolotti spins. Well, he really laid it on the line there.
I overtook him on the outside in the chicane, but I was quite surprised because suddenly a car crashed into me. So basically, he just crashed into me, and that's not the finest way to be racing, to be honest.
Mirko Bortolotti right at the back, though. In 10th place is Nigel Melker with a yellow helmet, the white and black car, red highlights. He and Alessio Picariello both run by the Azerty team. Team France leads, though, from Team Netherlands, Slovakia third. And in the pits, Sergio Campana. What a wretched time he's having with car failures. Looks like he's out. Well, great lunge down the inside from Richard Gonda. He takes second place away from Nigel Melker. Team Slovakia from 5th on the grid, second now to Team France. There's Nigel Melker for Team Netherlands. And another great performance from Richard Gonda, just 20 years old, the Slovakian driver. Sebastian Balthazar, looks like he's pulled off. And Gonda looking to the inside of the Team France entry, lock up there. Oh, and a huge hole in the tyre. That's a massive flat spot. Going to cause a lot of vibrations for Picariello. Mirko Bortolotti now challenging for 9th place. That's the Team China entry of Olivier Campos. He's got a good run going, but he's going to have to work hard for this. No push to pass, no overboost on these cars. It's all about driver expertise, and it looked as though he'd made that move stick. Another big lock-up. And running wide, Richard Gonda.
I don't have really expectation because I never did a race with pit stop. So my goal is to learn as much as I can. And if it's possible, finish at least on podium.
Well, up the hill now comes France, and the battle is for second. Nigel Melker having a lunge from the inside. Can't get through, no. Overshoots the chicane, and he'll have to give that place back. Here's the Azerty team, and here is our race leader. Oh, they've waved him through. What's been going on? So Team France came into its pit, and the reason is that the tyres were ready for Dennis Lind in the Team Venezuela car, also run by Azerty, and you can't put somebody else's tyres on a different car. Well, that is a real handicap, massive loss of time. Lind is out of the pits for Venezuela, but a massive loss of time for the race leader, Alessio Picariello. Now he's got to try and put that behind him. Now get back into the pits. The teams are working on the pressures, make sure everything is correct. And that's the Venezuela car smoking after the pit stop. In comes Richard Gonda. So this is Slovakia, clips somebody else's pit marker. Oh, he's overshot! It was his team's marker. Oh, and Venezuela is off. Nigel Melker is in. Gonda, major error, overshot the Team Ginzani pit lane.
I did a very bad pit stop. I missed our guys, and it's not so good, but that's something I need to learn a little bit more from these races. It's completely new for me, but I feel quite happy. The race pace was very good, start was also very good. I gained some positions in the first lap, and after that managed to overtake Nigel, so it was the key moment, I think.
In now, again comes Team France to Azerty, changing those two fronts, no surprise given the flat spots. Oh, and Jimmy Eriksson's overshot as well. Another driver error in the pit lane. Right, deep breaths, everyone. Here comes Mirko Bortolotti. Rear tyres going on the Italian's car. He didn't have his foot on the brake properly. That was a slower stop than he needed as well. But somehow they've got him back out in second place. Richard Gonda of Slovakia third, but it's Nigel Melker who now has the lead and claims victory. Race 1 at the Nürburgring. Well, pit stop chaos and confusion really decided that race. Nigel Melker and Mirko Bortolotti still are championship hopefuls. Autodromo Nazionale di Monza ready for the start of the second FA1 race of the weekend. And it's Sergio Campana for Portugal on pole as they get away. Not a great start from the Swedish car that was on pole for race 1. Campana with Nigel Melker. This is Richard Gonda going around the outside on the run down to the Variante at the first corner. And through goes Nigel Melker. Campana runs a little wide, but it looks like he's going to hang on to second place. Mirko Bortolotti was third on the grid. Felix Rosenqvist in fourth. So your race leader, that is Nigel Melker. And a very impressive run up through the field by the Team Sweden car. Felix Rosenqvist in second place at the Roger. So there's Netherlands, Nigel Melker, just a little behind in the Team France car. Alessio Picariello, and with Richard Gonda rushing down to Ascari. Gonda in fourth place, just there. A little behind him. This is Stein Scott-Horst in the Team China car. Going by Mirko Bortolotti. Great move by Picariello in the French car. He picks up a spot from the Italian. Lots of jockeying for position here. Look at the battle for second place shaping up. Defensive from Felix Rosenqvist, as into the pits comes Mirko Bortolotti, the championship leader, with problems here at Monza in race 2. Wow, maybe contact with somebody. New nose, yes.
It's a mistake because he's arrived really long in the braking, it touched another car, it destroys the front wing. In this situation, when the race is short, it's not a long race. When you have a contact like this, the race is going.
Nigel Melker trying to clear off now and give himself a margin before the pit stops. Car weaving around under braking, ultra low downforce. 160 miles an hour, 100-meter board, hard on the brakes, squirming to get the car slowed. Oh, and Felix Rosenqvist has miscued in the Team Sweden car. Got in too quick, he's lost 2 places already, 3 places, and more going 4, 5 spots. That was a very costly error. Control Michelin tyres for his championship, so everybody with the same options. Oh, fronts on the car, but then he stalls it as he drops the clutch. There's Richard Gonda. Gonda just in front of Balthazar as Melker is released from the pit lane. So now the team's working on a second stop. Team Sweden talking to Felix Rosenqvist, planning when they're going to come in. How to get the most out of the drive of the car and the tyres, how to avoid problems in traffic. Massive lock-up from Nigel Melker, straight through the chicane. And that's an error. And that might cost him a position to Felix Rosenqvist. Rosenqvist at speed, takes the longer way round, but by he goes. Now Melker's plan, if it was to change rears, might have to change fronts instead. And Rosenqvist, a mistake at the chicane cost him ground. Somebody else's mistake at the chicane hands it back. Team Germany in third, everything crossed in a performance racing garage and at Melker's garage. But it is going to be Felix Rosenqvist who runs away to the checkered flag. Victory for the Swede. What a weekend he is having here in Monza. Double race wins for Team Sweden and Felix Rosenqvist. That is massive for the Swede. Fourth in race 1 at Navarra, third, his only other point score up until this weekend in Navarra, and now he has won both races at Monza. As the FA1 season comes to an end, it's our first ever wet race, starting behind the safety car, led by Danny Kloss, Nigel Melker and Sergio Campana. The field release then, down to the Gert Timmer chicane. Danny Kloss, the race leader. Nigel Melker, our race 1 winner, right behind him. And in these slippery conditions, battle on for third. Sergio Campana just ahead of Jeroen Mol. Can Mol see down the inside into turn 1 to make a move? He can't, he lunges in deep. On board with Nathaniel Berton, being very cautious. Craig Dolby's out on the AstroTurf in front of us, loses traction and a place. And they are squirming around. Dolby in the blue and yellow Sweden car trying to come back. Marco Barber drifts out very wide at the hairpin. So Danny Kloss, the man with the real whip hand here, he can see where he's going, and that's a huge advantage. Nigel Melker can a little bit. Third, Sergio Campana skating around. Then Jeroen Mol. Then fifth place, Richard Gonda. And Nathaniel Berton, a safe pair of hands in any weather, showing just how tricky these conditions are. Understeer, understeer, gripping finally. Oh, that's horrible stuff at De Bolt. Well, Nigel Melker wasting no time, pulling out of the spray, trying to have a long run down the fast back section of the track. And there is Nathaniel Berton under pressure from Craig Dolby as well, and Melker has made it around the outside at Ramshoek in the rain. Well, that is ballsy stuff. He has the lead over Danny Kloss. Wow, fantastic stuff from Nigel Melker. Reminding them to put their rear rain lights on if they haven't already. Richard Gonda on his own. And this weather really spreads the field out because visibility is at such a premium. If you can't see the track, you can't drive around it. Marco Barber chasing Sebastian Balthazar in the Team Germany car. Huge moment for Balthazar. Looks like Nigel Melker is finding plenty of grip in the race lead. Balthazar still squirming. Barber goes by him. Battle for third. Jeroen Mul in front of Sergio Campana. Oh, and someone's on the ground. That's Mul! Over the barriers he goes. I think he might be out of the race there. Dramatic stuff from Jeroen Mul. He's not the only one struggling for grip. Little less drama though for Gianmaria Gabbiani. Balthazar comes back out after his pit stop for Team Germany. And there's Jeroen Mul. Well, glad to see that he's okay, talking about his scary ride. Richard Gonda all over the runoff areas, down to the Geert Timmer chicane. And we saw Marco Barber trying to put in a move on Nathaniel Berton. On board now with the Spaniard. Oh, slippery, slippery. Local knowledge helped the Dutch drivers. On pit road now is our race leader. Again stops before the second place man Danny Kloss, and again Kloss will have to try and do a great in-lap to get advantage of some kind on Nigel Melker. Berton on pit road. Well, how is all this going to sort itself out in these weather conditions? Anything could happen. There's Kevin Claveros, the second of the Mexican cars. And there, Craig Dolby, fresh out of the pits. Lots of front-end bite now, got to try and use that. Off goes Nathaniel Berton. Grip just as hard to find on the pit apron as everywhere else. Team China car back out on track. And he comes back on in front of this battling group. So Nigel Melker came in from the lead. We'll have to wait and see what happens with Danny Kloss after the Spaniards pit stop in the Team GB entry, and again he comes in a lap later. And there is Richard Gonda right in front of a queue of cars now, and Melker, is he going to retake the lead? Kloss's team, he hasn't even got to them yet, so Melker will have the lead. Danny Kloss's MoMA team had a bit of a disaster in the pit stop yesterday, lost him a lot of time. Melker leads from Kloss and Campana, and Melker throwing the car around like he's an ice skater, sideways everywhere. Big smiles on the pit wall at Azerti, and Richard Gonda attacking now, looking to try and pick up another place. Driver from Slovakia out with any chance of winning the championship this weekend, but he's really made a great name for himself in this series. A young man that very few had heard of before the championship began, and he's really proved what a young racing talent he is. And again he attacks hard. He's looking for another pass, and again he's going to send it up the inside. Deep under braking, being very brave indeed, and I think he'll get through as a result. As the leader heads on to the last lap, the two Team Netherlands cars nose to tail. Bas Schouten. Will he go a lap down on Nigel Melker? Danny Kloss in second, Sergio Campana in third. And there is Richard Gonda. Well, looks like he's heading to sixth place. Danny Kloss in second position here. It's been a while since I've watched Danny Kloss at the wheel of a single-seater, and it's been a little bit too long. Nigel Melker, victory in race one, victory now in an unbelievably slippery race two. A dominating win, absolutely crushed the opposition. Nigel Melker sealing the FA1 title in fine style in Assen.
Yeah, you drive in Holland and you can win the championship, you know, so it's great. There are a lot of friends, family, and then you win 2 times on dry and on the wet, so for me it's amazing.